like we said, meet got delayed 2 hours, 45 minutes. She was now running at 9:20 p.m. Aaliyah Hobbs won with a time of 11:28. Brittany Brown came in second with a time of 11:30. Twanisha Terry, her training partner, came in third with a time of 11.34. Sha'Carri Richardson came in fourth with a time of 11:37. And then Mary Beth St. Price came in fifth with a time of 11.38. And if you look at this race, so Sha'Carri has never really had the best of starts. Mary Beth got out really well. Like, I mean, she has that 60-meter world medal. So we know that she can start really well. And then, so she was out in front, and then people started closing in on her. So, I mean, her racing this weekend was very impressive. I was like definitely taken aback. Like, yeah, okay, you have an opportunity to do really, really well, hopefully even make a US team based off of how you ran at this race in these conditions. So I'm definitely got the hats off to there. But the note that a lot of people said right after this race happened was Sha'Carri's washed up, like she's not focusing on track and field, you know, she's just worried about being Hollywood and all of this stuff, and, you know, 11:37, like not impressive, blah, 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 blah. And so everyone's hating on her just immediately because she came in fourth. And look, even I was surprised that she came in fourth. I was thinking that, you know, you got to win this race, you got to get good confidence. And so I was definitely even taken aback as well. It was not something that I was expecting to happen. It was definitely surprising to me. And then somehow they ran again. Like, so they were supposed to be just going into the finals, but I guess there were some camera issues. For some reason, they ended up doing this competition another time. And so they ran that fifth heat one more time. Not all the athletes came back. Aaliyah Hobbs, she didn't come back and run, but many of the athletes did. And in that second race, Sha'Carri Richardson ended up getting the win with a time of 11.27. Twanisha Terry then came in second with a time of 11.29. And then Mary Beth St. Price came in third with a time of 11.34. So all of the athletes improved, and there was only a 0.1 headwind, so there wasn't too much headwind. Yet it was still coming down tons and tons of rain. And so she was, one thing that was cool, Sha'Carri Richardson celebrating after the race. You know, she's having fun. And I think this was a big confidence booster. You got to win this. Going from being in fourth, not racing in a long time, then to getting a win in these terrible conditions is great. I don't look into this time really at all when it comes to, this is the type of shape she's in. Because she's been racing she raced in this against athletes that have been running this entire year and beat them. And so to say like, oh, you're not in, you know, fast shape just doesn't make any sense to me. But one thing that I'm really taking away from this, and that's the reactions that I saw from a lot of people within the track and field community, you know, mentioning how this was an awful race, like I'm not impressed, you know, all of that. But it's so crazy how quickly people forget. So let's just take you back a little bit and what's been going on with Sha'Carri Richardson. So last time we saw her compete, it was, you know, what, September, August, since we've seen you being able to compete. It's been a long time, what, 10 months. Then you come in, you're racing in windy and rainy and bad conditions. You're going up against, you know, some good people that you're definitely, you know, faster than, you have better PRs than. And you come in the first heat, you get fourth place. And, you know, it's an uncharacteristic fourth place as well. You're running in the mid 11s. And like, no, what I just explained to you, that wasn't Sha'Carri. That is what Shelly Ann Fraser-Pryce did just last year. See, people forget that Shelly Ann Fraser-Pryce, her last time that she competed in 2020 was in August. She raced in August, ran a 10:86, and then the week before that ran an 11:28. So that's what she did in 2020. In 2021, she opened up her season on May 23rd. So this exact same weekend in 2021, that's when she opened up her weekend. And she raced against Sha'Carri Richardson this exact same weekend last year in Gateshead, where it was raining and it was a 3.0 headwind and it was just bad weather. And in that competition, she lost to Sha'Carri Richardson, who ran an 11.44, and she ran an 11.51 and came in fourth place. And so this is the exact, or third place. And so this is the exact same thing that we saw in 2021 with Shelly Ann Fraser-Pryce, who then went on to run a 10.6. And so it's interesting how everyone is freaking out and saying this is awful, she's not focused on track and field, she's not ready to do any of this. But we saw this exact same thing from the second fastest woman alive in Shelly Ann Fraser-Pryce just 1 year ago.
And to this day,
it was literally 1 year ago where she ran these times. Oh, Colin, but it was a 3.0 wind. You're right, so let's adjust them a little bit. Shelly Ann Fraser-Pryce's 11.51, when you adjust for wind to be a 0.0 wind, is an 11.27. You know what Sha'Carri Richardson's 11.37 is when you adjust for wind? An 11.27. She did the exact same thing. And so we're seeing two athletes that just didn't do well in their opener. They had adverse conditions. They're just getting started up with their season. And so you can't just say, nope, this is where you're gonna be. You're gonna be awful. It's like, yeah, because this is your season opener. If you judge everything based off of the first thing that you see, you're gonna end up getting bitten in the butt. Because if you did that same thing with Shelly Ann Fraser-Pryce and you saw what she opened up with last year, and you were like, you're not gonna have a good season, you're older, you're washed up, you're not gonna do well, you would have been extraordinarily wrong, because she ran 10.7s several times and 10.6s as well. And so this is the exact same thing that we saw. Those two meets in Gateshead could not be more similar. And so the fact that people are overreacting on what we saw this past weekend just shows that you don't know your history of what's going on, because we saw this. It's the exact same thing. Two extraordinarily talented ladies that had adverse conditions and didn't perform the way that we expected them to, as if conditions don't affect them. It was raining in both of them. It was headwinds on both of them, awful conditions, and she ends up coming out, winning, and getting a 10.27 in the meantime. And so I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Manscaped. As track athletes, we're going to be running tons of miles every week and can be really sweaty and gross after a hard day of practice, but those days are behind us. Manscaped just sent me their brand new performance package, which comes with the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold all your goodies. Look, I've tried a lot of razors in my day, but the Lawnmower 4.0 is just different. Its ceramic blade helps reduce grooming accidents, LED light allows you to shave anytime, anywhere, and since it's waterproof, you can even take it in the shower if you want. When shopping with Manscaped, use code TWN at checkout to get 20% off your entire order, plus free shipping worldwide. Show up to your next meet looking good. If you want to be the best, you gotta look the best. Link is in the description.